Welcome back to another fantastic episode of I'm Gonna Talk and You're Gonna Listen. This is episode, I don't know, like 104 or something, maybe. I don't know. I'm back here outside with my poor devoured trees. So I realized my last episode, like the homestead update, was kind of long, maybe like unnecessarily long. I was just really upset. These trees have gotten just absolutely annihilated. I've got four four here that have been chewed down to almost nothing. Side note, I'm guessing it's crows? Question mark? There's no crow feathers anywhere though. I don't see how it could be mice. It could be mice. Oh, I gotta set up that other trap. That's right. I gotta set up another trap. Shout out Rhine Traps. RINNE Traps. That's not sponsored. Just if you even think you have a mice problem, or if you have food preps, you need like one or two mouse traps. And also, those mouse traps should be set up. You don't have to bait them with like wet stuff. Bait them with dry stuff. Um, I'm an idiot. Like I haven't lost any preps, but the mice have definitely gone into my stuff. They run in. You open a door, they run in. They're just OCD little morons. Plus, they can squeeze their heads into almost anything. Their skulls are like the size of a raisin. They can squish down. Anyway, mice get into everything. You should be proactively setting up mouse traps in all your stuff. Um, Next to all your preps. It goes like fires, obviously, water damage, and then mice, in my opinion. Someone's dog is very upset. Okay, so yeah, all of our trees are wrapped in lots and lots, and almost said fish netting, bird netting. Bird netting is insanely affordable, and if you're careful with it, you can sort of kind of reuse it and use the scraps and stuff. So a lot of these trees we were able to cover in bird netting scraps. Because like last night, so last night I electrical taped a branch back on, and I put more cat hair down from brushing the cats. I put multiple different um, trunk, guards, tree guards all around them, cat hair tree guards. I really put every last, ounce of energy I had into it. And this morning when I woke up, the branches the branches were gone along with the electrical tape. I don't know what does that. And uh, we have those teeny tiny, I call them mushroom birds. We have those things. I don't think those things will rip an entire branch off. They might nibble at the tips. Apparently crows will take off an entire branch. I haven't seen any videos of this. Supposedly they'll take off an entire branch, and people have seen the crows fly around with absurdly huge branches in their mouths. So if you ever see a crow flying around with an absurdly huge branch in its mouth, uh, and there's electrical tape tied to it, well, you have found my branch, and I would like it back. Um, I looked all over the yard. The branch is gone. Okay, it is gone. And I'm like, how often are there crows really around here? And all of a sudden, I heard a bunch of them in the front. They're huge. They're massive crows, but they never hang out back here. They're always farting around in the front, and they were chasing off a bunch of hawks. I mean, these crows are like fearless, and they are insanely territorial. They will take on hawks with zero F's given at all. For me to never have even seen one back here, and for me, I have only ever seen one feather back here, and it was from a teeny tiny bird. So the idea that the crows are hopping around on my back porch and ripping my trees to shreds is kind of absurd, but that's what I'm left with. Um, Absolutely zero evidence of them. But also, there has been mice back here. I've caught two. I haven't seen any more. And I haven't seen the rabbit. The rabbit might be hiding. I keep sneezing in a certain area, so I think it's still here. Um, anyway, blah blah blah. What was my point of all that? There's like one little part that I wish I had netted a little bit better, but at some point you just have to call it. And supposedly they're supposed to, I don't know. The weather's really weird. It's super muggy and hot and windy, and it feels like a storm's coming. Anyway, so that's the kind of the homestead update report. I know some of you care about that, so there you go. Now you know. Okay, part two. I want to talk about YouTube bullshit really quick. YouTube fixed whatever its comment problem was. I can finally look at all my comments again. It's been months. Do you know how hard? No, you don't. Some of you do. How hard it's been to read YouTube comments? It's almost been impossible. They broke the filtering. It has been insane. That's why it's been taking me forever to respond to your comments. I have to go hunt and peck and find them, and I don't always get them all. And there's one of the hawks is still out here, so it's obviously undeterred. YouTube comments. So I can see everybody's comments again, and guess what I found? Rural. Shout outs to Rural 2IC. I'm gonna be on their show here in a few days. After me already talking to Rural in a thread on my channel, YouTube took the entire thread and quarantined it after I was already talking to him. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? YouTube, dear YouTube, you have porn bots responding to wildly inappropriate urban decay and children getting attacked and mob violence and arsonists, and then you scroll down in the comments and there's porn bots talking about how funny everything is. And I can't talk to someone on my own channel that messages me all the time that I'm actively talking back to. Fuck you, YouTube. You fucking clowns. They have got to have some of the highest paid, highest talented, allegedly maybe, engineers of all of big tech. And it's just, what a shit the bed. If they would stop fucking around with advertising so much and actually fix their damn platform. Hello. Anyway, so that's that. So shout out comments section. I can actually filter through all the damn comments again. It's been I think over 4 weeks. I think it's been about 2 months. I can't remember when I told you guys that it was broken. Apparently also some kind of moth or caterpillar or something could have eaten through these trees. I digress. Except it couldn't have taken the whole entire branch and the electrical tape with it. And also, the mice wouldn't have taken the entire branch and the electrical tape. See, for a while, because not a lot of the branches were just gone, and I thought maybe the mice or something was like eating the branch all the way down. But now, stupid. I feel so fucking retarded. This actually makes perfect sense because so many of these branches are just gone. Very, 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 very few of the branches actually fell. And I'm missing probably I don't know 100 branches, 100 if I counted all 100 200 branches. Now it makes sense. It's like the birds are snipping the branches off and carrying off. Oh, I feel so stupid. Anyway, so that's all going in the next update of Bunker Basics. I would have never thought in a million years it was the damn birds taking the branches. Son of a bitch. Because I couldn't figure out why none of the branches from any of the other trees were missing. I'm like, why is it as soon as I plant these, the branches stop going missing? Well, that's because all those trees are all wrapped. And they have all of the other protections. Anyway, blah blah homestead YouTube. Okay. Let me check. Well, okay, in no particular order. Let's just jump on into it. I want to talk about rehoming cats and dogs for a second. Uh, I'll just leap right into this. This is going to piss some people off. I think dog breeders, a lot of dog breeders are absolutely predatory um, sociopaths. Um, Not all, a lot. I think it's disgusting. I think they breed the dogs way too much. They breed the dogs way too young. They breed uh, dogs, the only dogs they can get their hands on with bad characteristics. That should never the bloodline should just be done. And I think this is the biggest problem is with Rottweilers. Um, I know there's a lot of rot lovers out there, and they will defend their rots to their dying breath. I think those fucking dogs are a blight on society, and if it was up to me, I would get rid of every rot on the planet. Fuck you. I know that's gonna piss people off. How many people need to die? How many children? How many people need to die from Rottweilers? And you might think, oh, guns, but guns, but guns, but guns. Yeah, you know how many fucking restrictions there are on guns? And yet there's no restrictions on Rottweilers. There's 120-pound people walking around with a Rottweiler, and then people just let them loose, or they just get loose on their own. And then there's whole packs of wild Rottweilers and fucking wild dogs. What are you supposed to do about that? All these like I would never kill a dog people. What the fuck are you gonna do when all these homeowners don't make it for whatever reason, or they lose their houses and they're moving into an apartment, and the apartment's like, you can't have a Rottweiler in here. Are you insane? Or all this, or you're stuck living in the trailer park with all the other trailer trash, and everyone can't feed their Rottweilers anymore. And so, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna be stacking Rottweilers like fucking Lego blocks outside, or they are going to kill your children. Um, I think there's a 13-year-old girl, 12, 13-year-old girl got killed by a pack of wild dogs. It was Rottweilers. They just won't fucking say it. Oh, it's not my Rottweiler. Not yet. It's not. You really think you can really control that thing? You can't. You can't actually control that thing once it decides to do something. And my face was almost taken off by one once. It was being protective. It was being defensive, but it was being it's a area its area of influence was a little bit bigger than I think it needed to be, and it decided that I was picking a fight with it, and I didn't even know. And it was an inch away from taking my entire face off. And yeah, I learned a lesson, and it was really nice of it to decide to not murder me, but it could have. And I'm sure in its, you know, two brain cells of a dog brain, it probably thought it was doing the right thing. But um, how many people need to die from those things before just some laws pass and just say, "Oh, but my Rottweiler is such a sweetie. It's such a sweetie." If you open the door and it runs outside like a fur missile at whatever it wants to, and you have no control over it, that dog just needs to be either sent to a re-education camp, or you need to get some kind of a dog you can control, and you need to be an owner that learns how to control your dog. A lot of it is owner related too. I think a lot of Rottweiler owners probably shouldn't be on the planet either, but that's a different story. Um, I think I just and also in terms of like home defense, there's better dogs. There's better dogs. You don't need this whole concept. Oh, it's just disgusting. It's if everyone walked around with an AR-15, which by the way I think should be completely okay, everyone would lose their fucking minds. But a Rottweiler is like walking around with like a loaded chainsaw that makes giant turds, also, and nobody bats an eye unless you're. So what do? You can walk around with a can of pepper spray, but you can't pepper spray an entire pack of dogs unless you have a giant can of bear spray. And even then, if the wind's blowing towards you, then I guess you're just going to get extra spicy as you're eaten to death. And your eyes burn, so I guess you don't get to see the Rottweilers as they eat your face off. It's not only Rottweilers, I know. What's the other breed? Pit Bulls? Maybe this whole time, maybe I meant to say Pit Bulls. And maybe I said Rottweilers instead. I don't know. I think both of those dogs are completely unnecessary. I think there are plenty of other very, 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 very big dogs that aren't absolute psychopath dogs. Don't get me wrong. I've been bit by Pomeranians. I've been bit by Chihuahuas. Okay? Being bit by a dog sucks. Being bit by a small dog or a big dog sucks. I've heard of people getting bit by chows. Those things are fucking monsters. I don't know what I think about chows yet, but I would not get anywhere near a chow ever. These things are huge. I think I would rather deal with a full-grown wolf. Like if I had to choose like the biggest, scariest dog to deal with, I think I would rather deal with a fully grown, fully wild wolf. Because at least then I'm like, at least I know what I'm dealing with. At least this dog is not gonna lie to me and tell me that it's something it's not as it tries to kill me. It doesn't try to sneak up to me and act fucking cute. Or I don't have to wonder if the owner really has it on, a good grip on it or really has it under control. At least I'm like, oh, wolf. My brain goes wolf, and the wolf goes human, and I go wolf, and it looks at me, and I look at it, and I'm like, okay, and it goes okay, and at least we understand each other, or a German Shepherd. I go, oh, German Shepherd. Well, that's not good. I hope it doesn't steal my car. Oh, the German Shepherd's riding off in my lawnmower. At least, or it's like, a lab or a golden retriever. Like, oh, it's off its leash, it's acting batshit insane. But at least I know what it's gonna do. It's not acting like it's gonna try to be my friend and bite me. Not like that Australian cattle dog the other day that bit me after calming down. It calmed down and then fucking bit me anyway. Should have taken that damn dog out of that guy's hand. Like, give me that dog. You shouldn't have a dog. Anyway, I probably pissed a lot of people off. I don't care. If I can't run around with an AR everywhere, you shouldn't be able to run around with a pit bull everywhere. I think that's insane. I think it's hood rat culture. I think it's disgusting. I know everybody does it though. It's not just the hood rats. Yeah. Also, cat uh, cat rescuers. You're not getting out of this either. Um, you want $200 for a cat? If you want $200 for a cat, that cat had better have all of its shots, and it had better be like spayed or neutered and chipped, and you should be able to tell me exactly everything that's happened to that cat and the exact disposition of that cat. You should be able to tell me everything about it. $200, $100, same thing. Because again, like we said before, cats are cats. It might live 5 years, 6, 7 years. It might live 15 years. I need to know everything about that cat. You want to know why? Why, Chance? That's a good question. Thank you for asking. As soon as I have to take that damn thing to the vet for something, and I love cats, as soon as I take that thing to the vet, they want to know everything about it. Because guess what? Shock-a-doodle-doo. Cats, sort of in a way, are just as dangerous as any dog. They literally play in their poop for fun. Their claws are bacteria knives. They have bacteria in their saliva, so when they bite you, you're gonna, if you don't get treated, you're probably gonna lose whatever it was they just bit. Ask me how I know that. And by the way, in shit it's the fan, if a cat bites you, you're just as fucked as if a dog bites you, or if a raccoon, or a possum, or a rabbit, or a really, really, really pissed off squirrel, or a skunk. If I'm forgetting anything, leave it down in the comments below. Or a horse. Horses have flat teeth, but it'll still hurt if they bite you. Anyway, and cows have some like toxic shit about them too. I don't know. They carry some kind of virus and they can sneeze it in your eyes. I don't know. I love cows, but there's a reason why nobody fucks with cows. Even deer. Deer can be a little dirty bastards too, and they can front kick and back kick. Deer do a little jump kick. I was watching them do it the other day. Anyway, deer can fuck you up even if they don't have antlers. Like a deer can fuck you up, but not. It's still not as bad as like necessarily as bad as like a really deep cat bite into muscle. Anyway, the point is like you want to go to a veterinarian. They want to know everything about that cat. And so these cat breeders and these cat rescuers, they act like they've put all this money on the line. I put out, the horse is looking at me like I'm insane. Shut the fuck up, idiot. These cat rescuers, I put all this money on the line. No, you don't. They get all their food for free, and they get all the shots and shit for free. Fuck off. When we lived in a bigger town, they had nonprofits that spayed and neutered basically for nothing. And if you caught them on a good day, they would, you just take whatever cat in, no questions asked, and you get them all spayed and neutered for free. For free. I mean, maybe not the girl cats. Maybe they took, a $20 donation or something for the girl cats because it's a little bit more of a bitch. And the girl cats go through a little bit more. And give them a tramadol and the cone of shame for a couple days. But and all the food's for free. Fuck off. And cats, I love cats. But like, if you have a good house, a good family, you keep that cat indoors, you keep that cat well fed with the good litter and stuff. And these fucking cat places, they want to check out your house. They want to get in your fucking business. If I give you $200 for a cat, you'd better be paying for that cat's vet bills for the next 6 years. That shit is unreal. And I have met so many cat rescue places, like they get all their cats for free because people will just give them cats. They sit on the cat for a little while until someone wants the cat, and then they want a couple $100. No, you should be happy someone wants the little bastard, especially the cats that are really, really misbehaved. How many people really want a cat? Oh, I want a cat that's like super fucking misbehaving, please. And you know they lie to you. They don't tell you that cat shits in the corner. They don't tell you that cat fucks up all your uh, furniture. Oh, he's such a sweet little thing. Yeah, right. I see those eyes. I know what those eyes look like. That cat's ready to fuck something up. And then run off. And then sass me. Anyway, that's my spiel about dog and cat. And the people that breed cats are really, really fix your fucking cat, especially your girl cats. Fix your fucking girl cats, please, for the love of God. The Oregon Humane Society is like 30% over capacity right now in cats and dogs. And you know what they said to everybody? Oh, we'll drop the adoption price. Adoption price? Oh, we'll drop it by half? Oh, gee, thanks. Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm saving this little fur burger from living in cat jail for its whole entire life. And I have to pay you to get it out like it's a damn hostage here. So I can have a furry buddy in the house. And by the way, all you have to do is wait here in the country and someone like, can someone get all these damn cats out from under my porch? And then you go get your cats. Like, fuck off. And they're like, oh, we have to take all these cats in from Texas. It's so hard. So hard. And then someone's like, oh good, you're saving all those cats and dogs from those dirty MAGA Republicans in Texas. It's like Texas is liberal now. Oh, the hellhound is that lab, man. When that lab goes, he sounds like a damn hellhound. It's legitimately impressive how horrifying he can sound. He's just mad because they left him and take him somewhere. When I lived with the ding dongs, their labs would do that too, and they didn't believe us. It's like your labs go off like sirens every time you leave them here, even though we're here. They don't care. Anyway, that's definitely cooling down, so you can tell something's gonna happen. It cooled down and there's no wind and it's super quiet, except for the birdies. Okay, what's the next? Now that we've oh, it's the little piece of electrical tape that I set aside. Oh, okay, I gotta check my notes. Hold on. All right, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about. They've got this new bullshit I've never seen before. This is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Apparently, they want to defend schools by having little drone pods at the schools. So if there's an active no happening, um, these drone pilots can launch the drones, pilot the drones, use the drones to engage the active no going on. 3 drones, and they've got a magazine of less lethals, pepper balls in each one of them, and then they can just apparently like do a little burst and just ram into the person at like full speed. And their whole bullshit spiel was, this is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. They said it's to buy the school time for the cops to get there. Um, First of all, you know what else? Oh crap! I'm gonna sneeze. You know what else would buy time for the cops to get there? Arming all the teachers. No, I know one of you would have said Rottweilers, pit bulls. Shut up. Arming all the teachers, arming and training all the teachers. That's what would buy time for the cops to get there. If the active no-no is going on at the other side of the school, how you have to I think you have to have somebody following the drones around because the person's going to have to open all the doors for them. That in and of itself seems like a massive loophole. That person's going to get yeeted in the face. So that person would need to be armed and have armor. So I don't know who the poor bastard is that's going to have to run towards the gunfire unarmed and try to open the doors for the drones. That seems stupid as shit. Why not just arm the teachers? I'm so sick of just these anti-gunner teachers that'll throw their body on a student to get riddled with bullets and die instead of just arm and train and understand that whatever shitbag is coming in there is more important than the little bastards that you're trying to protect. Little snot-nosed, booger-eating little virus monsters. Um, like, where is it coming from that a teacher has like a moral dilemma? Because yeah, the person coming in to do the no could very well be another student, uh, another maybe a prior kid that they taught, but they can't take a life. You can't take the life of one shitbag to save all your little booger eaters that their parents trust the school to take care of them all day, and they don't even have fucking lockdown policies that work half the time. That shit just blows my mind. So, so to see this drone thing was just another insult to injury. Um, I think having safe rooms for the kids is a great idea. I've seen some like pretty intricate looking like temporary safe rooms. I've seen like some bolts over the doors, like some door reinforcements and kick plates and stuff that look really 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 promising. All of all of those things, or just lockdown policies that actually work. Um, and door sensors, so if somebody's left a door open, so you can go have your armed resource officer go shut the door to make sure there aren't some little bastards over there doing diddly do. And again, I'll say, not only did we have really solid lockdown policies, but one. We always had one, and sometimes we had two or three armed, uniformed, actual police officers at our school, like nonstop, all the time. Um, I and I know in Portland, like part of the huge problem with urban decay is them trying to get those cops out of the schools. And I know the cops can sometimes be kind of doo-doo heads at the schools, but that's usually because they're trying to deal with things that they're not really suited to deal with. In a lot of ways, they're kind of like a hammer. But again, the optics, talking about optics the other day, like optics are always going to suck when an adult has to deal with kids. And if you've got a kid, quote unquote kid, that just full sends a punch into a teacher's face, you've got a fight on your hands, and that kid now has to be treated, or teenager or whatever they are. They have to be the threat response has to be comparative. Like it has to be relative. If they full send it into some teacher, you've got to deal with that. And a lot of people just aren't comfortable with those discussions, and I think more of those discussions need to be had. Um, and so I know having cops at schools is kind of weird sometimes. That being said, if I was the president, I would probably also have ICE at all the schools too, and I'd be arresting the fuck out of illegals left and right. I don't care. I would arrest those little shits in class. Go back. You want to go to school so bad, you can go back to school in your own country. Um, Little monsters. Anyway, um, you send your kid to school and you expect him to be safe. The teachers, there, it just for so many reasons, we just need to bring back like warrior culture. Um, not like full blown psychopath, but like if they're legitimately like entertaining the idea of having swarms of less lethal drones patrolling schools, what the fuck? How can people just not look at that and just go, what the fuck? First of all, or second of all, or third of all, now I'm not sure. Somebody pointed out this was on Twitter. What's stopping people now from just attacking schools with drones? And then you're really fucked because these little less than lethal drones aren't going to do shit against other drones. Probably they're certainly not training drone on drone. And again, going back to I think Don Schiff's book on guerrilla drone warfare, or shit is the fan drone. I can't remember. The book's in the other room. I think you need to be training drone on drone. I have a Neo, and I know without a doubt I can ram that bad boy right into another drone and take it out. Period. That thing will fuck up another drone and probably be fine if I can catch it. If I put it into speed mode and it's not too windy, I'm pretty sure I can catch another drone on it. Um, so if you're not training for drone on drone, then I don't know what you're doing. I think if they wanted to do the unarmed, or less lethal drone thing, like 25 years ago, that might have been good. But I mean, we're not too far off. Just talking about dogs and stuff. We're not too far off from there being like roving bands of metal Terminator DARPA dogs running around, and the schools are gonna wish that they had an armory with green tip ammo. I mean, like, people are not prepared for how bad it's going to be, and it's going to get so bad so fast. Just like crypto, just like AI, and just like with um, the smaller teeny tiny drones. When we have like DARPA dogs and tank drones running around, once we like get over that like little cusp, those things are going to be everywhere. So fast that people's heads are going to spin. It always takes a while. The pickup always takes a while. I remember, I don't know if it was DJI. I remember when the first drones came out, they were like $5,000. They're now $100. It took a long time. It eventually happened. AI was a bitch at first, and now you can get it for free for a while. Crypto was that way too, and now look at crypto. Crypto's completely blown up several times. That's how technology works. They're training for drone on no people. They're already behind. Our our mindset and philosophy on defense and war is so behind because people are still worried about their stupid sports, their stupid bullshit, and worried about the cows getting out. Which, by the way, I think if you have a drone, you might be able to shoo the bull back in. I don't know. I will try it one of these days. Um, if I had been prepared the last time the cow got out, I could have, I think, used the drone, and then me and we could have been buddies. Although I don't know, the cow might have just smacked the drone out of the way. I don't know yet. Goats, probably not. The goat would probably just grab the drone and run away. Crows, definitely not. The crows would just take the drone out. But my point here is like everybody who's just like fucking off, especially a lot of people who retired. If you're not constantly realizing that like the world there's usually these nice little lulls of time. It's like night vision. It's like armor. It's like radios. This dumb fuck the other day. Things aren't really going up. I was able to buy a Baofeng for a while ago, and a Baofeng is the same price now. Nothing's changed. Nothing's ever going to change. What they don't realize is that Baofengs have gone up, crashed, become unobtainable, spiked, and crashed again. Like they're looking at like point to point. They're not looking at like all the turmoil, the turmoil sea, the churn. All they see is like thing was okay then, thing was okay now. That works with a lot of electronics shit, and Hudson Valley was talking about this yesterday, and Livingston Man. Electronics are a really, really bad, really unfair, really, I would maybe say, like, not viable uh, point for inflation. Um, they learn how to make electronics cheaper. They learn how to make electronics shittier. They've got people that are working 90-hour fucking weeks to make your little electronic shit. Cheap Chinese e-waste. Cutting more corners, working people to death. That's and then you have de minimis, so they're like not paying tariffs, they're not paying taxes. And what Livingston Man was trying to say is like, go look at a go look at a top of the line DJI camera, right? Like all these fucking little poor piss ants, the poors as people call them. Yeah, buying your e-waste hasn't gone up. No shit, sure. I don't care even if it's like a Samsung TV, unless you're buying a brand new, not even the OLEDs, the new ones. Then yeah, then you're paying like $5,000 for a TV. But they keep the low shit low for the poors. It's why a lotto ticket still only costs a couple bucks. It's why even though cigarettes are kind of high, they still keep cigarettes kind of low. It's because they got to keep the poors fed with their bullshit. They got to keep the poors consuming. It keeps the consumer index looking good. It keeps all that wage growth and shit. No, look, the economy's still doing good. Well, yeah, but if everybody had to buy a fucking, if all the Chinese garbage disappeared, tariffs aside, if all like what happened during the Rona, and this happened with blades too. If all the Chinese shit got finger snapped, and there was only high end stuff available from Japan, maybe directly from Taiwan, the poors would be fucked, and especially if they couldn't pay in four anymore and they couldn't credit card things anymore. They wouldn't be able to buy anything because Vivor wouldn't be making all the cheap shit for them. I love Vivor. They make really cool stuff. But like the second they couldn't get things over here anymore, you're talking about 4 or 5 times as much. Fuck looking at a Baofeng. The price of a Baofeng. Look at the price of a mid range Japanese radio. Oh my gosh! Look at the price of those motherfucking things. Like, your South Korean like e-waste TVs. You're like Chinese e-waste TVs. I get, yeah, whatever. But then go look at the price of like the Switch 2. Go look at the price of Switch games. Like, video game prices have been stagnant, not counting inflation, for 30 years. All of a sudden, those are going up. That has never happened in most of your lifetime. Nintendo games, PlayStation, whatever the fuck, Xbox, they've always been like $60, 40 to $60. Now, not even counting like DLC and shit, they're going up to like $90. It's here, right? We're there now. And all people can say is like they point out their one little teeny tiny bullshit anecdote. Oh, look at the price of blue jeans. Not to quote this bitch that lost my sub a while back. Look at the price of blue jeans. The material hasn't changed. The indigo dye hasn't changed. The stitching hasn't. None of it's changed. But look what happens to the fucking price of a pair of blue jeans. That shit makes no sense. I think this wasp is tripping me out. So, um, I forgot what the exact point was. I have to check my notes. Hold on. Oh yeah, drones protecting schools. So, if you want a drone, get one now. Night vision, I don't know, but one of these days, night vision is going to be gone too. But I still think night vision should be the last thing you get. I think you should get armor radios, drones, modern defensive tools. I think night vision should be the last thing you get, but I still think it should be on the list. Um, and I'll just say, like, man, it's the same thing with batteries. It's the same thing with solar. Like, all these cheap. I can't remember. Was it Vision that was saying it the other day? Like, you've got to be so careful getting batteries. Or no, maybe it's Southern Pepper one. I can't remember who it was. You've got to be so careful getting batteries though, because these cheap Chinese shit, they just keep renaming and reselling the same shit batteries over and over and over and over and over. All the way down to the smallest teeny tiny battery banks, all the way up to the big ones. Like, there's really only a handful of solar generator, we'll say, quote unquote. Uh, there's only a couple you can really trust. They're all from China, um, but they still, at least some of them have brands. If shit gets shut off with China, there are zero batteries. That's it. The batteries that we have, the batteries that we have, and then those prices are going to shoot up, and then it's going to be unobtainium. Exactly like blades. People, oh, blades are too expensive. Blades are too expensive. Uh, Save up, get the blade you want, because when the shit hits the fan, there isn't going to be any blades, and you're only going to have the one you have, and hope to God that you don't have one that's dog shit. Um, so I guess on that note, zippity doodah to the next topic. The invasive Chinese species, the invasion of every bioweapon from fucking China on the planet. So not only is they're fucking cow brain viruses and invasive bugs eating all of our trees, but on the Columbia River they found an invasive Chinese crab. These are big motherfuckers, and apparently they eat everything. Everything. They get huge. And a lot of the people in the chat were saying, it got like sucked into some water ballasts and then like shot back out of the water ballasts by the Chinese. I don't know if it was on purpose or not. But here in the Pacific Northwest, if the Chinese, these big monster Chinese crabs take over, I wish this was a joke. You probably guys are like, this guy's fucking with us. Who am I kidding? There's only like 2 of you that listen this far. Anyway, um, we there China, it's, I don't know. I guess the Wu flu didn't work, and now it just seems like every other week there's some new invasive Chinese bullshit that's happening. Viruses, tree bugs, cow bugs, and now these fucking crabs. Like, I don't know, maybe this wasn't going to be as long as a segment as I thought. But people need to have the heart to realize that, like, invasive species, invasive bugs, viruses, um, it's not going to be a big deal for them to send something here that just wipes out all of our trees or wipes out all of our crops. This is why we should not have big ag. It is why we need to be diversifying, our cows, our chickens, our crops, these whole boutique subscription based, crops that they make big ag do and stuff. Man, that's the recipe for disaster. Okay, I guess that's not as cool of a topic as I thought it would be. I guess this next part's like a two-parter. Um, my note says you can't defend yourself or you go to jail. I talk about this a lot. People go, why don't you just defend yourself? Why don't you just defend yourself in the cities? The ninja larpers and the ferals, um, they want people to defend themselves because they know you're going to go to jail if you even brandish a pistol. No matter if there could be 30, there could be 50 ferals trying to kill you. Um, and again, I'm not talking about any specific ethnicity. I'm talking about the mindset, the mindset of ferals. It could be different ethnicities in different places, or it could be a bunch of ethnicities. Um, or they could all be wearing black bloc, and you might have no idea what they are. Then that's more of an identity group. If you so much as brandish a pistol, whether it's 30 people, 50 people, 70 people, 80 people, you are going to be seen as the bad guy. They're going to say, why is that pistol a double stack? Why does that pistol have an optic? Why you must have been looking for a fight. You shouldn't have been in this area. You're the outsider. They're clearly in the majority and you're in the minority. Why were you here? You shouldn't have been here. And goodness forbid if you've got any stickers on your pistol or anything, or your rifle. They're going to find every single thing on the planet wrong with you, and not the fact that there's 80 people trying to murder you. This has happened before. This is very, very, very well documented. And the way law enforcement works now, they will take the one person out and arrest the one person that they see as the person disturbing the peace. Even if that peace is a violent, psychotic 80-person mob or a 200-person mob or a 300-person mob, the one person that has to defend themselves is going to be seen as the one that's causing the problem. And that's why you don't go into stupid times with stupid places with stupid people. If you have to defend yourself, your life is over. Period. And that doesn't even just go for being in mobs. The guy that was burning down all the houses and shit, he got out, immediately started doing it again. They rearrested him. I don't know if he's out again. If someone defended their house from this guy, their life is over. If you get ambushed in many, many cities, it doesn't matter if it's an L-shaped ambush and they're running around with AKs and they're not supposed to have any of that shit. If you have to defend yourself, I guess you better just hope that you die in a hail of gunfire because your life is over. They're going to arrest you. They are going to dig into your life. They're going to find everything wrong with you. And they're going to tell you that you shouldn't have been there and that you should just capitulate to the mob. So you need to incorporate that into your mindset that unless you have what is it, attorneys on retainer, I don't want to accidentally say the wrong ones because some of those are dog shit. Unless you have, I think it's attorneys on retainer. Leave a comment down below if I'm getting the right one. Just kidding. Nobody's fucking listening to this. I think it's attorneys on retainer, and maybe there's one other one. I can't remember the name of the other one. Not USCCA. I think. Fuck those guys. I think it's been a long day. So I think I'm getting that right. Attorneys on retainer, I think, is the good one. If you don't have something like that, your life's over. Your life is over. If you own a business, they're going to find it. If your wife owns a business, they're going to find it. You're going to be unemployable. Your wife is going to be employable for the rest of her life. Your children, they're going to find where they go to school. Okay? Your life's over. So get that into your head when you have to defend yourself. I was talking to this guy. He's like, I'll just stay in my home. I showed him a picture of this guy burning people's houses down and then getting let go. Cool story, bro. And then he messaged me back some bullshit, and I sent him another one, and it was a guy with a shovel busting into this lady's house. This like single gal, calling her every name on the planet. He just smashed his way right into her house with a shovel. The second she defended herself, it would have been her fault. They would have said, "Well, that's a shovel. That's, he was unarmed. He was unarmed. That was just a shovel." She didn't need to shoot him, or if she did, like, well, she didn't need to shoot him that many times, or technically he was still outside, even though he had completely smashed his way in. The cops wouldn't do anything about it. I might need to go pause and see if the neighbors need help. BRB. Alright, welcome back. I think it's good to be back. I think my neighbor decided to let the dog out, and the dog was misbehaving, and she was chasing the dog around on her quad. I think. I don't know. But I guess a couple lessons. Always check your watch so you remember when things happen, and then ideally you keep a notepad and write it down, because your brain goes crazy after about 10 minutes of something happening and you can't quite remember what happened. Anyway, and when. I mean, you can remember what, but not when, but then your brain plays tricks on you and echoes and things. Anyway, watch, notepad, write down time, write down what you remember. Anyway, defending yourself, like, I hate to say that, the whole, like, defending yourself might feel like it's pointless, like, but that doesn't mean you lay down and die. And I keep trying to drill this into everybody's thick heads. The left is successful for a few reasons. It doesn't take shit from its own people. It doesn't take shit from who's in charge, mostly because they have nothing to lose anyway. And the left doesn't keep them in jail anyway. And they are completely ungovernable. They have become ungovernable. Whereas conservatives, they like to have laws, they like to have structure, they like to build things, they like to grow stuff. But you're dealing with a bunch of petulant kids that just like to knock the things down that we build. Okay? You're trying to combat chaos and anarchy and communism with a law and order system that doesn't actually exist. It is only imposed upon us. Law and order only exist to keep us in our own bubble and make a giant disadvantage for us. People who have figured out how to make their own tools, make their own stuff, You know, all of that. Figure out what you're going to do for your currency. Make no mistake. Make your own food. By the end, we will all be criminals. It is only a matter of how much resources do you want going into the purge. And this is not hypothetical. I don't talk about a lot of the things that I've done, but I will tell you one thing. During those massive riots where the cops were there at the beginning, all the time, from 2016 to 2020 and beyond, the cops only ever disarmed one side. Well, 99% of the time. Because the left refused, usually, to disarm. They said, you can't come in the park if you disarm. They go, fine, we'll stand out here. And then conservatives want to go into the park, and so they disarm, and then they get their fucking asses handed to them going back to the car. Oh, and it's the same thing if you're going to go into your building, because, you know, your employer says you need to disarm, and then that employer is going to kick you to the curb with the mobs outside. And then they go, well, you're not our employee anymore. Technically, you're just, average Joe citizen. I'm like, oh, so I was an employee while I was in here and I had to disarm, but now that I'm outside and disarmed, all of a sudden I'm Joe Citizen and it's everyone for themselves. You gotta understand that, like, you are going to have to decide how to defend yourself, both mechanically and psychologically. The left and the cabal and the whole entire corptocracy as well are going to disarm you to give themselves the biggest, most massive advantage on the planet when it comes to being able to apply violence and apply force and then violence. And you are going to have to decide how much you want to be, cucked, how much you want to be, you know, how 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 screwed do you want to be going into the purge relationship? You know, it's and how much of your of who you identify with do you want to get wiped out? This was my biggest problem with the Jehovah's Witnesses. They would rather be wiped out as they run with their tails between their legs. And history has shown this over and over again. They would rather get wiped out and run and just keep converting more people to, apparently, I don't know, I guess, so they have more people uh, to get wiped out every time they run away and go convert more people. They don't tell people that. They don't tell people that they are absolute raging cowards. And they think that they can back up when Jehovah said to just keep running for your life over and over again. Fuck that. Their crusades were all defensive because the same shit has happened so many times. The pharaohs come, their crusades kick them out. The pharaohs come, their crusades kick them out. The Jehovah's Witnesses are fucking bitches. They're not the only ones. And all these other just like this society that is willing to sacrifice its children to level ones through level threes that are just running everywhere. People trying to grab their kids and throw them in vans, and they just let them right back out because I guess that's compassionate. People dying on the side of the road with needles still in their arms because that's compassionate. It's okay, the whole van life bullshit. So you're okay As long as you can ignore the homeless person, because at least they get to stay in their derelict vehicle. As long as you can be cute white girl taking Instagrams, you know wherever you want and not have to pay anything. Like, you know, man, like, and they won't take defense into their hands either, nor could they, because half the places they travel to, it would be illegal to have a firearm anyway. Never mind the whole thing with Canada. This You are being set up to be completely disarmed and at the biggest disadvantage possible. And that's why I get so sick and tired of people fucking running. You want to leave your state and go to another state, and this guy's like, well, what? I'm going to die anyway. I may as well die with like minded people. And I'm like, yeah, you know what would have been great? If your bitch ass had that philosophy before you left. Now, getting priced out of this place, I get that. Yes. If you just flat out get priced out and there was no way that you could reconsolidate, okay. But that is not what is happening. Oh, well, I just couldn't take it anymore. It just got too lawless for me. You bitch. You fucking pathetic bitches. It got too lawless for me. What do you think it's going to be like? You left and ran yourself out of resources. Do you think it's going to be better there? Are you somehow, did you find the magic fucking infinite money glitch where you can make more money where you're at, and now you're accumulating more resources, and now you're okay, and you left and sacrificed and forfeited where you gave up so you could have a better life for a little while? What the fuck? Fucking, it's just pathetic. If I would just delete my account, and I would those people should be bullied off the fucking entire internet, as far as I'm concerned, for being such fucking bitches. They are all over YouTube and they are all over Twitter. Haha, haha, I left. I left the Pacific Northwest. That place is a shithole. Yeah, because fucking liberals aren't systematically taking over every single county in the U.S., and you're not doing shit about it there either. We're better armed here, yeah, and you're still not fucking doing anything. Because you are going to be completely disarmed and at a massive disadvantage wherever you go. You are going to be... Everything you do is going to be illegal sooner or later, except for illegals. Apparently it's okay. Apparently it's okay for illegals to just do whatever they want. Okay? And apparently it's okay for everyone to just back illegals. Everything that Human says. They're finding more people that are backing and defending and protecting and harboring illegals every day. And shit is not getting done fast enough. It's almost it's almost August. Where's the mass deportations? Where's the ICE surge? Get these fucking people out of here. Our country is not going to survive. There ain't no jobs. And it's, this one, well, let me bring my kid to school first. Yeah, you know what? Great. You can bring your kid to school back in your own country. Okay? This dude was on, like, a wildly expired visa. Fuck off. Fuck off. Oh, well, he's a doctor. Yeah, and you know what? Someone else could have been a doctor that actually calls this place home. But it's not going to matter because they're all going to be AI doctors soon anyway. But, like, you need to, like, process this shit and understand where we are. Understand where we are. And you might say, oh, Chance, you moved. I lost my fucking house, first of all. in like the worst recession in my entire lifetime. I could not get a job at Safeway. I couldn't get a job at Walgreens. I couldn't get a job at Albertsons. There were zero jobs, zero jobs. Um, and I lost my fucking house, and I was living in a hotel room, and then we were gonna be living out of our car, and thankfully, like a friend of mine happened to have a back room. That goes back to consolidating resources. We consolidated our resources. It was mutually beneficial. It's not my fault that they bought a bunch of dumb shit and we saved up enough for a house. We couldn't afford to live in that area anymore. It's gotten worse. It's gotten even more expensive. A lot of those houses are nearing $1 million house now, and my wages have been stagnant for 20 years. Um, so we moved to the next closest place where it was affordable and where there was land. I would have needed way over $1 million to be able to afford enough land in that area to even, you know, grow what I want to grow. I wanted to grow an orchard. You need acreage to do that, so I moved as close as we could where we could find acreage and where the taxes weren't hellacious. We picked the best place with taxes, the lowest taxes that we could find, and we just happened to luck out, and this happened to be a whole group of people here that had to go back to California. Um, I mean, it was an absolute, literal, absolute miracle that we got this place, um, and it happens to be amazing. And so, uh, I think don't move because you're a fucking coward. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. Move, be, make the strategic, deliberate choice to move for the right reasons, which means you're moving to a better spot with better jobs and better schools and lower taxes, and your plan should be to make that damn place a fortress so everybody else has something to fall back to. But don't just move because you're a fucking bitch. I got so sick. I got so sick of that. I still hear it every day. It is no different from people going, "Well, I'm retired. I'm retired." They've got their cool little one-liner that they get to say, "Well, I moved." Oh, that's cute. That's your cute little one-liner. You're a bitch. Is what you are. Okay, like just you're a bitch. So enough of that shenanigans. I think I can't remember if there was one more thing I wanted to say. This is really like a part two of the last episode. I found the other half of my notes and realized anyway. Blah blah blah. So, um, lastly, so the trees are all netted up for the most part. There's one more little itty bitty piece of netting I want to put up. And it's kind of my OCD, to be honest. Maybe two more pieces of knitting. I don't know. Um, at some point, though, it's going to be good enough. At some point, it's going to be good enough. I don't know. The other thing is, for all intents and purposes, my art book is done. Um, I'm debating doing one more teeny tiny, teeny tiny, teeny tiny little update to the fonts. I think the fonts need a teeny tiny bit more love. But I mean, it looks gorgeous. The art book looks gorgeous. I can't remember how many pages, like 120 some pages or something. It's like 3 times as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really like anemic. Um, and it's not. That's awesome. I think, like the two people that are going to buy it are going to really like it. And if only two people buy it, that's fine. I think only 2 people bought my collector's edition Bunker Codes also. And boy, that is an awesome book. And this is going to be an awesome book too. That was so for the 2 of you, only one of you listens to this that own a copy of my Bunker Codes collector's edition. That was both a promise kept and that was the proof of concept for this. So if you liked the Bunker Codes collector's edition, um, you'll really like this. You'll like this even more. But the two really are a companion piece. So if you have the other one, this one is gonna look amazing next to it. I put a shit ton of work into this book. Not only does it have effectively every single major art piece that has driven the book covers and the rebranding, it has all the stuff from the video game. It has all the art from the collector's edition. It has a bunch more concept art that I've been working on, and it has art from the 3 albums. The 4th album that's probably never going to be released, and potentially stuff from the 5th album that's also unreleased too. I think maybe kind of, sort of, kind of, maybe not really. I don't know. Conceptually, I think it goes through the 4th album, and I think it kind of teases at the 5th album a little bit. I don't remember. So I think the art book is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a little bit spendy, but it's a premium. It's a premium book, and it's worth something. It's worth the time I put into it. That's for sure. It's a big book, and it's not just pictures. It's the whole history of everything, and it's kind of an indictment on the whole AI thing. Kind of following AI over the last 2 years. So I think that's it. I'm going to be on a podcast. I think I already talked about this. I'm going to be on a podcast Sunday night again. I'll post about that more later, but everybody who listens to this is probably going to be there anyway. And for those of you who didn't check it out, I was on Love and Life's podcast last Monday. That was a blast. And I think I've got maybe 2 more podcasts potentially, but I don't have anything. I don't have them locked in yet. But I'm super thankful for everybody who actually wants me on their show. And I can't emphasize enough. I've tried to share this whole concept out with other authors, and I don't even think I got any views. Like, you'd think authors would be losing their mind at me saying how I got here, which is only through the grace of God and some very, very, very lucky connections. I was ripping my hair out, not literally, trying to figure out how to connect the dots on all this. And again, literally through the grace of God, a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend got me in contact with Vision. And literal miracle. I was begging and praying and pleading and bitching to everybody who'd listen. And a total random encounter of things going just completely sideways and backwards got me in contact with Vision, which cracked this whole nut open for me. I owe that guy a lot. Hello, Mr. Hopperson. I'm sorry for blaming you for everything, and Rural says hi. Mr. Hopperson is in the clover patch. He is nibbling the little clover tips. He is happy, or she, I don't know, it, the little bunny fuzzball. I remember you when you were just a tennis ball, and your parents when they were just tennis balls, and their parents when they were just tennis balls. I wish you were good for something. I wish I wish you could chase the mice away and the voles, but you can't. But enjoy the clover patch. I made it basically kind of sort of just for you. Mr. Hopperson's looking at me like, what the fuck is that? Something something else big just shuffled by. Was that a second Mr. Hopperson? There's two of there's another there's a big one. There's the big one, but it's usually not over here. Are rabbits territorial? Maybe it's not looking at me. Maybe it's looking at the other one. Uh-oh, he's gonna be getting crazy. He's getting crazy. He's gonna freak out and start running around like a monster. Anyway, um, I definitely heard something really, 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 really big shuffling under my feet. Um, yeah, I did a big clover patch. Me and the wife have been keeping the clover patch going for Mr. Hopperson because according to the AI, clover patches distract all of the critters because they love the clovers more than anything. Oh, Mr. Hopperson's in the wire. Oh, he just ran under the deck. So now there's potentially two rabbits under the deck. Just great. I hope they don't start making more rabbits under the deck, then I'm really going to have a problem. I'm going to plant more clover. Anyway, I'm rambling. Art book, podcasts, Vision. Um, so Vision, super appreciate him. I know how busy he is. Um, I hope he gets another. Uh-oh, I definitely hear them under me. Uh, that's okay. I'm guarded by this baby gate. The bunnies can't get me. Um, I'm hoping he does another bug out weekend. I hope everything's okay because I want to give him some extra special goodies for the bug out weekend this year. Um, anyway, I think that's it. I'm rambling. The bunnies are going crazy. I I think they're wrestling. Sounds like they're wrestling, or they're making more bunnies. I don't know what to tell you. Um, I hear them down there. I don't even know where the other one came from. Maybe the other side of the yard. Sometimes it makes its way over here. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'll talk more about my art book soon, and I'll go through the bunker basics again soon. I'm slowly making teeny tiny bunker basics upgrades, but again, it's like one sentence here and there. Um, it's just for my own OCD to make me feel like I'm taking all the notes of all the things I've learned um, as they relate to the topics in the first one. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna poke my head over and see what the bunnies are doing because I think one of them is going after the other one. Anyway, I will talk to you. Hello, Mr. Hopperson. Oh, he is. Or she. Oh, he's gonna start tearing around. He's gonna start tearing around any second. I thought he was eating my straw. I forgot if I told you this. I thought he was eating my tomatoes, but it turns out he was just running through my tomatoes, and the tomatoes were getting stuck on him. And so again, that's why you don't assume. You don't assume it's the mice. You don't assume it's the voles. You don't assume it's the deer. Um, Iteratively work through it. Sometimes it's the seventh thing that you think it is, but don't give up and iterate. Um, I think it's my OCD, but I think I'm gonna go put on. Hello, Mr. Hopperson. Hello. I think I'm gonna go put more netting out. Also, I want to say hi. I want to say this bunny is hilarious. It'll play out here for like an hour. It absolutely loves this. It loves our garden. It thinks our garden is just like a giant play area. I have never seen a wild bunny have so much. Oh, there it goes. It's doing a little. I've never seen a bunny have so much fun in my life. Um, and it makes me wonder if the bunny on the other side does the same thing. But yeah, this bunny is just having the time of his life. Yeah. Anyway, I will talk to you all later, and I'll see you on. Is it rurals or is it OVPs? I think it's OVPs. I'll see you guys on OVPs Sunday night, and I will talk to you all later. And just get your mindsets in order. Talk to you all later. Bye.